at least as strong, were they? Like those numbers have held up since, well, October, November, through until now.
Yep. Okay. All right. So we've been sort of the results since inception. We've demonstrated that it just keeps continuing, and we've talked about handling outs and all that sort of thing. Blah 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 blah. Now, what I want to move on to next is this is the area I want feedback on. If it's boring you to death, let me know. I'm happy to pull the pin. We're going to have a look at some of the horses I've chopped, and I'll just go through with you the reasons behind that. This is the most important thing. There's not much point in having things like Blackbookers if you're not going to constantly monitor them. I mean, it's just useless. If a horse is performing well now, it's not to say that it's going to be doing the same thing in 3 months' time. Obviously, it won't. So I've got certain things that I do, and when I monitor their rating, they get to stages of preparation when in the past they haven't performed. They're out of there. Now, I took one out last week and I turned around and won on me straight away. Don't care. I really don't care. Sort of. All right, Harvest Queen's out. Look, a great horse, full of white fries, just keeps looking like it's going to win. It's certainly got ability. It'll eventually get up to 2,000 metres, but just this tendency to want to, it's one of the 4 that I said races back in the field. It's the sort of horse I really don't want to be involved with anymore, and, any time you guys see it on a small track like Gosford or Wyong, just forget it's even there. If you see it in the future at Rose Hill or Randwick, etc., remember, or Newcastle, just remember it's got to be 1,600 metres, and it will get back in its races. It will finish off real hard, but even if it does win, it'll give you a hell of a fright. It's on the chopping block. I'll probably cut it during the week. Chopping block means being looked at. Bellahina, look, I'm sure all of you are leaning to your right or your left or whatever way you watched television the other day when, it's in a position to win it. It goes up to the leader and goes straight past the favourite, and next thing the favourite kicks back on the inside. And now that's okay normally, but it's done it 3 times to me now. Twice before it got onto the Black Book. First run into the Black Book, does it again. Just demonstrates a trait that I'm not too keen on. I may not chop it, but keep it in mind, guys. If you don't see it, well, I've chopped it, but every time you do see it, it's one of the ones you might like to think, well, it's got every attribute, but it just hasn't got any heart. Dance Floor Prodigy ran today, backed very heavily. Hope it wasn't all you guys ruining my price, but look, the horse races back. It was a Mooney Valley the other week, raced back in the field, looked very unlucky. Comes out today, starts, pretty close to being unders. It was just over the price required. Some of you that didn't back it, I know that. Look, they're always saying unlucky, unlucky, unlucky. Look, it gets back a bit, this horse, no good. It's gone, finished. Don't need to talk about it. It's just going to keep breaking our hearts. And if we did leave it in, it happens to win next start. But these horses that tend to be unlucky always start unders anyway, so you never get any value out of it. Next one's It's the One. This is the horse I mentioned that ran the other day and just went terrible last Saturday. Came out on Tuesday, went pretty good, but just not convinced that all is well there. It sort of gave every indication to me. It looks like a roarer or something like that, and when it gets a little bit of pressure put on, I just can't quicken. So, got ability. If you guys see it, by all means, don't totally disregard it as being a useless, conveyance, but just give some thought to it as to what I've said, about it tonight.
Ed, do you want to just explain what a roarer is for the people that aren't aware?
Oh, look, a roarer is there's a flap in a horse's throat that basically fails in a lot of thoroughbreds. That, for want of a better way of putting it, basically inhibits the nerve damage that causes a flap to come across the airway, which inhibits the breathing of a horse. They perform different styles of operation. One of them is called a tie-back. Generally, you'll find horses don't recover from that operation. Now, I know a lot of you probably look at your screen going, yeah, there's plenty that do, and there are some that do. But what it does to them, it does prevent them from ever being able to quicken. You'll find the horse, once they've had the operation, if they're one of the very minuscule amount that actually get through it okay, there's only one way that they can be ridden, so they become very much one-dimensional. So it's basically here I go, rambling again. It's a throat operation to inhibit its breathing. That's all I had to say, wasn't it, Dave?
It's not rambling. It was enlightening for all, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll bet. Now, next one is Falco's Star. Yeah, look, it's now that it's going up in grade. This is a Brisbane horse, by the way. It's just developing a tendency to get back. A lot of horses, when they're, in their early stages, because they're racing an easier grade, they can race up on or near the pace. But when the when the heat's on and the grade's a bit higher, they can't. So it's gone. Subtle Cove, geez, it was good to us, this horse. It really was, and I think we got 5 wins out of it this preparation out of 7. I think it ran twice. The second twice. Once was behind Moti. But look, we've had it since it was maiden at Newcastle. The figures it produced to get into the Black Book were incredible, quite frankly. And it took 2 more runs to back that up. But now it's gone all the way from a maiden to a group winner. It was a very weak group win, but, it did it. It's peaked. It's probably spelled. If it's not spelled, it's had enough. And just on that, when it does come back, I won't be launching into it again. It's got to requalify. And not only requalify, but you'll probably find once a horse has run up to 2,000 metres, which it doesn't get, by the way, it's a 1,600 metre maximum horse. When they do come back, because they've been through arduous campaigns and they're a bit older, it'll take a while to get going. It probably won't have the same zip that it possessed prior to what it did. But anyway, we had a real good run out of that horse. It made us a lot of money. Just look, it's just gone. It's peaked. End of story. Easy in Hell. Look, I was pretty reluctant to put this horse in originally anyway, but it did produce some pretty good figures. I'll go on to say that it's running around pretty ordinary races to get beaten, so I'm not interested. It's in tomorrow, by the way, if you want to lay it and probably win. Anyway, All About Glory. All About Glory. Look, beat Pacific Chief originally, then it went on to, Zip went really well up at Gosford. Once again, it's just getting lost. It's just terrible runs lately, so I can't be with it. Next horse, Fair Trade. Look, quite seriously, that was going to be one of the best horses I've seen for a long time. Sectionals it gave me, but got sold. It's gone to Hong Kong. Someone's got some money and
have they changed its name in Hong Kong? Because I know a lot of people like to follow the Hong Kong racing. Yeah,
well, look, we'll put it on the site.
Yeah.
I haven't got the name yet, but I do get that list.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exceptional. It really is exceptional horse. Next horse is Ramsey's Curse. Now, look, whoever lost on it at Canberra wouldn't have been happy. And I'll be honest. It got into the Black Book sort of through the back door. Logan's Choice, who came out and was really impressive for me at Canterbury when I beat that other horse of Gaze. I sort of backtracked. I do that a lot when I see good wins. I backtrack through the form and see where they've been. And it sort of came, and when I say the back door, is it easily beat that horse at the prize start at Maruya. I then checked its sectionals and it was fine. It was looking really good. But, look, not happy. Yeah, it's with the prize stable now. He's a very smart guy. So obviously the horse has got ability, but I haven't got the patience to follow a horse around like that who's had an interrupted preparation and isn't going as well or improving at the rate on my ratings graphs as what a good horse needs to. So it's gone. It is out. Okay, now next. Any questions, by the way, so far?
We've got heaps, but we are a bit behind time, so push on with what you've got.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We're not far away, guys. I'm really speeding up tonight, so try and wake up if you can. I'll put you to sleep before I know. Now, next is Real Close. These are the ones you'd probably be real interested in. This horse up the top there, if that doesn't win next start, I'll give it up.